go ahead with questions.
What Brad talked about. Brad Underwood practice. What does that entail?
Yeah, it's a lot of sore bodies after that practice. I'm not gonna lie, but it's good. It's something that we need. We have a couple of those every year when we feel like we need them, and it's something that gets our team ready for the next game. Coming off of a game where we should have won, made some mistakes as a team. Practices like that only prepare us for the next game and make us better.
What is it about? How do they make you better? Is it just the coming togetherness? Is it what you actually do on the floor? What is it about?
Yeah, it's just getting back to us, playing hard, man. We were out there in practice longer than we usually are. We practice way harder than we usually do. It's just one of those that is get back to our fundamentals, get back to what we do right. Get back to the toughness, work hard in practice. It doesn't really matter if we came off a road trip. It's just one of those that you got to take pride in what you do and get better.
Luke, what's the vibe like around the team? Does a loss like that linger at all, or you just gotta put it behind you?
Yeah, the vibe's great with the teammates. It's in the locker room. We were upset after the game, and the next day, kind of going into it, and it's one of those things that you just gotta forget about it, play and forget. And we have a special team this year, and we can do a lot of good things this year. So hanging our heads over a loss like that is it's not great for the development of our team and our program. So in games after that, we're lucky enough to not have too many games like that, but it's one of those things that you kind of go back to the drawing board, figure out what you did wrong, but everybody is still together and has the same goals.
Luke, if you could pin down defensively, summarize what's been going on the last few weeks, how would you do that?
Yeah, I think it's a culmination of things. I think some of our defensive coverages have just been a little bit different, and we just got to get back to doing what we were doing at the beginning of the season, and that's just the honest truth about it. You watch the Tennessee film and stuff like that. We were top 10 defense in the country. We were guarding our butts off, and we just got to get back to that, really. And I don't know if it's just the difference of our offense was really good, so our defense is dropping off, or we just don't take as much pride. I don't honestly know what it is, but there's a lot of things that we have addressed, and I think it's going to be great, and we're going to be a lot better moving forward.
Is there something from that early stretch in the season defensively that you can look back to and say, this is what we did well, this is why we defended well?
Yeah, I think it's keeping people out of the paint, I think, is the biggest thing. One of our biggest principles is no middle on defense, and that's something that we've kind of gotten away from. And last practice, we definitely got back to that, I'll tell you that. So if you got drove middle, you were on the treadmill for a good amount of time. But, getting back to, like I said, our practice yesterday, Coach Brad practice is back to the fundamentals. Forget all the extra stuff we put in this year. It's just back to the day one, work as hard as you possibly can, and just go from there.
Iowa does attack the paint with Tony Perkins, a strong guard, and Nolan Freeman, the big guy. What are some challenges to slowing down their offense?
Yeah, they're a really good team. They got, Peyton Sanford's one of the better scorers in the conference. Tony Perkins, every year against us for some reason, has some of his best games. So we got to know that coming into the game. They got a couple Illinois kids that are freshmen, so it's going to mean a little bit more to them. So we just got to know that these guys are going to come in here, looking for a win. They just came off a huge win at Michigan State, so they got all the confidence in the world. They see us, coming off of a loss, a little bit of vulnerability, but we just got to do what we do and come out and bounce back from it.
Dumb question, but Brad say like this is Coach Brad practice?
Yeah.
Or do you figure it out in the middle?
Yeah, you'll know because there's no practice plan and he doesn't say anything before the start of practice. You just walk out onto the court and you just get the feel. So yesterday we had a 10-minute lift and our training coach said, get warmed up however you need to get warmed up, and said no film, none of that. So we went out there, no practice plan, and we just know first drills, get to it, and we got to it. We got better yesterday though, so it's a good thing.
Is that the first one of this year?
The first one in a long time, I will say that. There was probably a couple in the non-conference schedules after, we had a closer game than we would have liked against a non-conference team. That's usually when it happens. So I think in the new year, that's the first, quote-unquote, Brad practice.
When he talked about not watching film, there's no really need to rehash some of that. What's the value for you guys as a player to just put that away and not circle back?
Yeah, well, he knows, most of the guys watch film by themselves. I was up after we got home watching it on YouTube TV, just watching the last, couple minutes of the game. And, in games like that, it's not necessarily the bits and pieces that we did wrong. It's just a collective, we did everything wrong. So it's one of those that, okay, we did everything wrong. We need to get in the gym as a team, do everything right, and the good things are going to happen. That's basically the premise of that game. So not watching film is not necessarily a bad thing, but it gives the guys kind of their own way to break it down, and then it's just a message to the team listen, we were really bad, and we're going to get back to being really good. That's basically what it is.
So watching that on ECW, was that something you feel like I gotta look back and see what happened in like those last couple minutes? Or?
Yeah, in the moment, honestly, in the game, it felt like a movie, like a dream. I was like, this is wild. Like, we were just up 10 points with 1:30, and I go back and watch the game, and like I said, we did basically everything you needed to do to lose. Like we did wrong. We turned the ball over. I took a shot. With 20 seconds on the shot clock, that wasn't great. Just a lot of bad mistakes. And at the end of the day, you can learn from that stuff. And everybody wants to make a big deal about it now, but they'd be way more upset if it was to end our season in March than right now in February. So that's kind of the way that we're looking at it. So when we do get to March and have a 10-point lead with a minute and a half, we can keep a 10-point lead when the clock hits 0. So.
How much of that end of game situation work do you guys get done in practice?
Oh yeah, we do it a lot. That's like one of the things that the day before a game, like today, we'll end practice with situations. It'll be a minute, 2 minutes on the clock, different. We're up 2, we're down 2. 30 seconds, a minute on the clock. There's just a lot of stuff that goes into it, and we huddle up as a team before during live action, kind of break that down. But that's something that we do a lot.
Thanks, Luke.